Good day, ladies and gentlemen. We are looking at quadratic functions again, which are functions in a form of fx is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. This is a general form of quadratic function. Right, so remember during the test or exam, quadratic functions can come in two ways. Number one, you can be given a formula and then they say plot the function, or they can say find some things. For example, they can say find the x-intercept and the y-intercept and all of those kind of things, but eventually you usually end up having to draw the function. That is one way of it, and we dealt with extensively in the previous video. You can go ahead and look at it. And now we are talking about the second part in which the quadratic function can appear. A quadratic function can appear in a sense that they will give you a graph, which is something that looks like this. And then they say find the equation, and sometimes they will give you the equation form and say find it. Right, now what do you do in those cases when they give you an equation and then they just say, maybe they can just say find f at x is equal to, and then you can say ax squared plus bx plus c, or they can just name this f at x and then they say find f at x. They can ask it in any way, but in whichever way they are asking you to use the graph that you have been given in order to find what? In order to find an equation. Now the question is, how do you do that? Okay, I'm gonna put this here so that we'll refer to it now and then. Right, so ladies and gentlemen, personalities, what you simply do when you are requested to do such a thing, you are supposed to just remove this so that we can use the space. All right, so what do you do? So you can use this function and then say y is equal to a and then x minus x1 and then close brackets and then say x minus x2. Now this is, you've got x1 and x2 being what? X intercept. Okay, so this is a very important formula that we can use. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to substitute the x-intercept here and substitute another x-intercept here and then take it from there. Now let's see how can we do that. Okay, do we have x-intercepts here? Let us see. Yes, we do have x-intercepts here. It is. It's x is equal to minus 1. So what we're going to do is we'll say x is equal to minus 1. And then here we've got x is equal to 5. X is equal to 5. All right. So what you will do is you will take these values as they are and you'll substitute them here. So how do we do that? We will say y is equal to a, and then you will say x minus, and then minus 1, and then obviously you close this bracket. So you're going to use the big bracket now because you've got small brackets reserved for this. You can't have two brackets being the same. That is going to confuse you. Okay, and then we're going to have x minus and then 5, which is this x-intercept. Okay, so you end up with something like this. All right, and then when you simplify this, you end up with y is equal to a. Now you've got x, and then this minus and this minus will make plus 1, and then you will get x minus 5. Alright, so that is number 1. And then number 2, you need to look for any point, literally any point, but that point must be a point in the graph. Alright, it's a point in the graph, but you can't use the x-axis, the point of the x-axis. So you can use this point and you can use this point. You can use this one, you can also use this one. Okay, so let us use this one. Okay, let us use this one. Okay, let's just try and use this one first, and then let's see how it goes. Okay, this one, the y is 0, right? Or we can't use this one. You know why? Because if we use this one, we're gonna have 0 here. Actually, let us actually show why we can't use this one. Let us not show, because we're gonna be confused. Some people get confused very easily. Let's just use this one. So basically, what am I saying to you? I'm saying you can use any point, but you can't use intercept. So you can't use x-intercept, and then you can't use what? You can't use a y-intercept as well. You can use this point, because this point is not an x-intercept, and it's also not a y-intercept. So we use our x of this point is what? Is 2, and then y is minus 9 as a point, right? So what do? You then, in a place of y, you put minus 9, and then in a place of x, you put what? You put 2. So it's 2 plus 1, and then 2 minus 5. Okay, and this ends up being 9 minus 9, and then this is a, and then 2 times 2 plus 1 is 3, and then 2 minus 5 is what? Is 3. So this is going to be 3 times minus 3. What is 3 times minus 3? It's going to be minus 9a. Okay, this is a, because not 9, it's a. Okay, and then here you're going to divide by minus 9, and then divide by minus 9, and then this cancels this, and then minus 9 over minus 9, what do you get? You get a is equal to 1, which is same as 1 is equal to a, which is same as a is equal to 1. So our a is equal to 1. So you take this a, and what do you do with it? You then substitute it here, and then when you substitute it here, actually I substitute it here because this is a simplified version, and then form everything. So we're gonna do it on the side. Let's try and find something, another color. So we're gonna say this is y is equal to, in the place of a you put 1, and then it's gonna be x plus 1, and then it's going to be x minus 5. And then when you multiply this thing, you remember guys, when you multiply 1 with anything, it becomes that thing. So this is just gonna become x plus 1, and then x minus 5. And then this multiplied by this, you get what? You get x squared. This multiplied by this is minus 5x. This multiplied by this is plus x. This multiplied by this is minus 5. And then you end up with y, which is equal to x squared. And then this minus 5x plus 5 plus x, you're going to get minus 4x, and then minus 5. So this is the equation that you are looking for in a form of y is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. Alright, So because I know some of you guys like steps, let's just remove all of these things. Obviously you can pause and do anything and then take these things down so that we can practice, but let's just formalize these things in steps because there's a lot of things that I've said. Okay, so given a graph, find the function. Okay, so step 1, use y is equal to a, x minus x1, and then x minus x2, and substitute both the x intercepts. Okay, so you use this equation and substitute both the x-intercept. That is the first thing that you do if you are given a graph and then you need to find a function. Okay, so after you have substituted the x-intercept, what do you do? This is step number 2. Find any point in a graph. But please specify that it must be not x and y intercept. Okay, you find any point in a graph, right? Now, when you have found the point in a graph, what do you do with it? And substitute it in 1. Okay, so whatever that you found here, the result of 1, you find a point in a graph and then you substitute in that result, right? And then what will happen afterwards when you've substituted? And you will find a. All right, and then step number 3, substitute a in the results of 1, and then that will be, and then number 4, simplify. That means you're going to multiply and then simplify, and then that is where you will close shops. Guys, that is how you find a function of a quadratic kind of a function when you have been given a graph. Ladies and gentlemen, personalities, thank you very much for tuning in, and have a wonderful day, and goodbye. And then if you have got any questions or a comment, you know what to do. In the comment section below, you can put in the comments, and we live happily ever after that and the question, and I will make sure that I will answer it. This is Mqondisi Macaba from Thembela Maths Club, a club that helps learners to understand the secrets that are hidden in the mysteries of mathematics. And ladies and gentlemen, personalities, goodbye.